Recording. Stop. Recording.
Hey, we're recording. Woohoo! All right, everybody, welcome, welcome. We got a full room here. I want to show you guys. We'll say hi, everybody, to your viewers in the cloud. We got like, I don't know how many people. We got like 35, 40 people in the cloud. I'm so excited for today. So what we want to get out of this is sort of make it as much of an accountability group as we can. So think of it as like a team leader running a team. You guys all keep asking me questions. So many of you get into my calendar, and there's probably, of the, I don't know, 60 people here today, I would say 6 of you, I won't name any names, but 6 of you that are constantly in my calendar with recruits, with people that want to come to this company, which is really cool. And I love that. And as you all know, that is, you know, Mackenzie and Mike and Terry. I have some amazing leaders on Caul Group, and they run Caul Group, and then I run this Freedom Builders team. So we're all doing double duty. But what we want to do today is make it powerful, make it fun. Turn your cameras on. I want to see your faces. I don't care what your hair looks like. I want to see your faces. So this is a mastermind. Turn your camera on, and if you're going to come naked, then just don't come. So turn your cameras on. So we want to have fun. We want to put your ahas in the box. So as you guys are hearing something that, you know, you go, oh, that was really good, just throw it in the chat box, because maybe something you heard somebody else might read. And when you write things down, you retain them better. I'm like a weirdo. I have notebooks and notebooks and notebooks of stuff that I keep and I write down. If I'm reading a book, I have a notebook next to me because I want to write down the thoughts that I just learned, so I don't forget them, because I forget everything. Unmute yourselves and ask questions. If something like hits home and or you go, I'm so confused, I don't know how that works. At the bottom of the screen, if you look under, I think it's participants. How do you raise your hand? Let's see, reactions. Go under reactions. It's in the sort of lower right. And then you can hit raise hand. So that way you don't have to interrupt me right away. You might just raise your hand, and then we can come to you and you can ask that question. So everybody hopefully knows how to do that. Alice-Ann will monitor any questions you have in the chat box. So again, I want this to be a mastermind, but interactive. So today we want to have you guys show up, put in the work, and see what foundation do we need to build and to get this thing going. And I'm going to start with mindset, which I think is the biggest thing, because everybody says they want to age and attract and they want to build this business, but then unfortunately I don't see them doing the key things that it takes to do it. And there is not one way to age and attract. I do it a certain way. I find that the way that I do it makes me happy because I don't want to cold call agents. And I would say that 80% of EXP agents don't like doing it either. And so who loves cold calling? Raise your hand. Raise your hand. Who loves it? Yeah, nobody. It sucks, except Alyssa Turnbull. She loves cold calling. So we're gonna talk about that. And then we're going to talk about the fact that I'm no special than any of you. Really. I mean, there is nothing more special, except I know that I probably put in 95% more time and energy into creating this, because I had a vision that this would take us 4 years to get to 1,000 agents. It took us 3 years, and we're at 940 today. So we're 1 year ahead of schedule. Woohoo, which is so cool. All right, so we're going to learn our framework. We're going to learn the habits. We're going to learn some of the videos that we watch that are really good, the stories that I lean on to help me build the brokerage, all the events that we have to go to. So I've been to 20 events in 3 years. Y'all, I've traveled a lot. And so it's been really fun, though. The words that we use, and the fact that if I can do it, you can do it. But the difference is I got over myself. I don't care what Ida Turbot is going to think of me in 20 years when my family is financially free. I don't care what, you know, any agent at any brokerage is doing at that point, because I'm looking to build our family, our agents, and the foundation. So, and so we're going to start with your mindset for success. So how many of you, raise your hand in our office or on Zoom? Raise your hand if you came to EXP specifically for revenue share. Raise your hand. None of you? A couple. I'm seeing some hands specifically for revenue share. Yeah, Linda Nuxel. We got some honest people here. And the rest of you are cameras off, so I can't see, right? So there are a lot of people that came here for the revenue share piece. And to me, it's a game changer, right? Revenue share is a game changer because it's a leadership structure that nobody can touch. management, our corporation, our company pays leaders like no one I've ever seen before, like no other company. So you have to think of it that way. Are you ready to be a leader? Are you ready to lead a team, a virtual team? Are you ready to build your brokerage? Because our broker, Glenn, broker in charge, he's main dog, he pays us really, really well to do this. So knowing that, you guys have to decide, do I want to be a leader at EXP, and do I want to take advantage of the revenue share opportunity? Because it's there for you. You just have to go and take it. The other thing is you're starting to see that other brokerages, they're copying what we're doing, right? So they're either copying what we're doing, which is they're incentivizing their agents to grow their brokerages by giving $5,000 and $10,000. If you bring an agent, you get paid one time, which is cool, but you don't get paid. It's the same thing. You sell a home, you get paid one time. You bring an agent to those firms, you get paid one time. There's no residual there. And the beautiful thing about this is it's residual. It's the only model, and get this in your ears, it's the only model that allows you to make an income all the while building financial freedom at the same time. And now we're not like genius. We didn't invent this model. Glenn didn't invent this model. Gary Keller invented this model. Okay, so let's give credit where credit is due. He created the profit share model. So genius, 40 years ago, right? Gary said, we're going to do profit share. You have to understand the difference. So write that down. I must understand the difference between profit share and revenue share. And that is going to be one of the pillars. And Gene Frederick, if you guys watched the napkin presentation, which was one of our assignments, who did their assignment? Yay. So Gene talks about this. I've watched the napkin presentation 40 times. So I've watched it. I have written it out. I have drawn it out. I want to understand that foundational piece because we didn't invent incentivized leadership. Gary Keller was one of the founding leaders to do that. What we did is we took what worked at that company, which Gary stole a lot of things from a lot of people because that's what geniuses do, right? They copy and they duplicate. It's called success modeling. So when you success model something, you go, okay, I'm going to copy that. Glenn copied that, but what he did was he changed and revolutionized the traditional structure of brokerage. There is no more territory agreements at EXP. There is no more, you're the broker owner and you get to buy the franchise and you have a little territory in your town. That is gone. So Glenn's contribution to, the evolvement of real estate is that he said, I think we can go be Amazon. I think we can go in the cloud. And I think we can get rid of the old foundational structure of 140 years of brokerage, and we can make this cool cloud-based company. EXP is like the NBA. We are all one company. So think about that. Use those words. We're like the NBA. It's one, Kevin's going to laugh at me because I know nothing about sports, but anyway, we're like one big NBA. And then Freedom Builders is a team on the NBA. So when you guys are out there talking to people, you have to say things like, join our team. Oh, what team? What do you mean? Well, we're like the NBA. When you join Freedom Builders, we're a team in the NBA. And one of our, Tina, who started Freedom Builders, she happens to be one of the top 10 agent attractors in the company. I didn't know that till a couple weeks ago, but I'm going to use that now a lot. Why? It's edification. I edify every single person in our downline. Michelle, Mark Z, Kurt Shewell, Daniel Beer, Curtis Johnson, Chuck Fazio, and Jay Kinder and Mike Reese. That's your upline, right? Those are your senior partners. I know all of them personally. I've been to a couple of their personal homes. I've traveled with these people more than my own family, right? In the last 3 years, but they're my partners, which is your partners. Now they all have teams above us, right? Dan Beer has Fast Forward Movement. So the Fast Forward Movement was started with Dan Beer and Kyle Whistle. And they run that Monday mastermind at 1:00, which we'll talk about is how we're going to use the invite script to get people to that call. I have a 90% conversion rate. I'm on that call almost every week. I never miss. I invite people to that call and I have a 90% conversion rate because where can you find a brokerage where their top leaders, their top sales agents are getting together once a week, accountable to one another to show up and answer questions for the underlings at the brokerage? You're not going to see it. show it to me. I will like to be a fly on the wall if that's happening anywhere else. You might see brokers and leaders at a company do a panel once a month, maybe once a quarter is probably more realistic. What you're going to find is there's going to be a team leader or some sort of leader at a brokerage, usually the broker. And then we know at Keller, they have team leaders. They will be running meetings every week and they don't have enough bandwidth. So what they do is they hire the agents that don't do a lot of business to come teach classes. And so that's the level of education you're going to get. So somebody like me, I'm not excited and enthused to go to that class, but when I get on those Monday calls, I am pulling nugget after nugget after nugget, right? Can we get an amen to that? That is a great call. So you guys have to leverage your fast forward movement mastermind, which you are a part of. And then above fast forward movement is our sister group, which is the Honey Badgers. So I got the idea to build Freedom Builders because Jay Kinder and Mike created Honey Badgers. That's the team they wanted to build. Now, it didn't align with my values because there's a creepy honey badger with like sharp teeth. And I'm like, how am I going to sell that to like a nice little Southern lady? That's not going to happen. So it didn't align with me. So I was like, well, and that's their thing, right? They're honey badgers. Honey badgers don't quit. Honey badgers will keep going, right? And they're just really aggressive animals. That is Jay Kinder and Mike Reese, right? Their whole life, they have built business after business after business. And they will tell you, this is the best thing they've ever seen. In the 30 years these guys have been trying, and they've made millions of dollars. So we have Honey Badgers is our main group. Then we're part of Fast Forward Movement. And then you all are under me at for our Freedom Builders. That is our team. So when you're out there talking to people, you're like, hey, I would love you to join our national team. We have 950 agents and we are growing by 60 agents a month. Y'all, our little Freedom Builders group is growing by 60 agents a month. There is not one company USA that's growing, little mini brokerage that's growing by 60 agents a month. That's pretty cool. You guys are doing that. I'm bringing 4 a month. So the other 56 are all of you, right? Building your foundation, building your financial freedom. So really think about when you guys say join EXP, edify our group. What does it provide? Our group is your brokerage. It's your value proposition. You own a brokerage. Congratulations. What is the value proposition? I know what the value proposition is when an agent joins my team at Caul Group. Mackenzie knows the value proposition. What's the value proposition when you join Freedom Builders? And do you know what the subgroups above us offer? Because I know everything that's offered. So write that down and we'll go over it in other calls. But Honey Badgers, offers the NAEA training, the National Association of Expert Advisors. If you guys aren't involved in that, Holly Kitchens, Hollie, go find her in the Honey Badger group and she'll get you guys signed up to gain access to the NAEA. That is a $2,000 a month training program that we get to give our agents for free. So that is your one of the value propositions to aligning with Freedom Builders. We have the NAEA. And you'll see it if you go to tinacaul.work, that site, and we'll talk about that in other calls because we have things that you guys can set up. That site is $20 a month. I edify Jay and Mike and the NAEA. I'm not sad to pimp them out. I'm going to pimp out my partners, right? Whatever they can bring to the table. I want the collective community and brain trust to be delivered to my downline and the people that I'm trying to recruit. So agent attraction is a massive opportunity. Like I said, the only model, which used to be Keller Williams, but remember, as you were selling homes at Keller Williams, you were making some profit share. The early adapters 30 years ago, they still make $1 million a year. But what were they making, Lisa, as of 5 years ago? If they made 1,000, these are maybe 1,000 for the owners of the market center, the investors of the market center, 1,000 a month, right? And they've been there for 15 years. So our model is the only one that I saw that you're gaining financial freedom. If you're just selling homes, somebody said this yesterday, John Kitchens, we were doing an interview. He said, you're the dancing bear. You get paid to dance. And I was like, I was a dancing bear for 18 years. We all get paid to dance, right? You go out on a listing, you get paid. You go on a buyer, you close them, you get paid. So we're dancing, but we're not creating financial freedom. In fact, the more homes I sold, 130 homes a year, I made over $1 million. I was great financially. I was giving up my time So I was becoming a slave to the money. It wasn't worth it. So money doesn't buy you happiness. If you're going to sell 100 homes a year, be prepared to have a life on your phone, away from your family, and not fun vacations, right? Because you're not getting financially free. Now, luckily, if you invest that money, which Kevin and I, thankfully, we met Sharon years ago, and and LaDondria, thank God for that woman. Where is she in this room? So we started investing in real estate for long-term growth, but no, I still wasn't making residual passive. So this is a huge opportunity. How many people came to EXP for other reasons, but then were inspired by the stories they heard from other agents and then started to pay attention to revenue share? Raise your hand. Everyone, right? So you come to this company, you got to remember most agents are sitting at their office today, the dancing bears, and they are indifferent about leaving their broker. They're not waiting for Wendy Mitchell to call them and ask them about this life-changing opportunity. Have you heard of EXP Realty? First of all, everyone's heard of it. They either are not here because it was explained wrong to them, or they just don't understand math. And I promise you, I'm not good at math, but I get this math, right? So those are the only two reasons. And most of the time, it's that somebody explained it wrong. And they didn't expose them to what's behind the curtain at EXP, which is this, right? The collaboration, the community, and the team building. And so when you think about an agent, they're sitting at their desk indifferent. They're probably have back taxes due. They're worried about the market. The world is ending. Commissions are being suppressed. They're scared still, right? The world is changing in their mind. And so, our job is sort of be the beacon of hope. Why are those freaking EXP agents always so happy? They're always posting things about their amazing brokerage. I'm sick and tired of their happiness, right? But they don't know what they don't know. And they would love to be part of something bigger. They would love to be part of our team. And maybe they don't want to pay us 50-50 splits, right? Which is a traditional team because there's way more value we're giving leads, but they want to be part of something bigger. It was lonely alone, isn't it? Yeah, it's so lonely right now. So they're just sitting there lonely, and we all have each other, which is really cool. So I think that there's a lot of agents out there that, would love to be part of a movement. And you have to have something that you're going to. Where's our North Star? I'm excited and passionate that my brokerage is growing by 4,000 agents a month. We're in 19 countries with like literally under 100 agents in those 19 countries. Think about where we're going. We're going to be 500,000 agents. So there's a book called The Blue Ocean Strategy. Write it down and read it if you want. The concept is, which I heard on a call months ago, EXP. When you think about the Blue Ocean Strategy, it's how innovation comes into a market and how it's adapted by people. And so EXP came into our market, and it wasn't very adaptable in the beginning. Nobody wanted to come to our company. In 2016, we had, I think, 1,500 agents. 5 years ago, we had 1,500 agents. Today, we have 77,000 agents. So our growth spurt was massive. Nobody has ever in the history of brokerage, not even Keller Williams, grown that fast. When you think of Keller Williams, they were 60,000 agents in 2006. Keller Williams was a little smaller than us in 2006. And it took Keller from 2006 to 2021 to get to 170,000 agents. So I can't do math that fast, but how many agents is that in how many years, right? It took them, they were a little slower growth than us. So when you think about where we're going, it's very exciting. So we're swimming in the blue ocean. There are no sharks in our ocean because the other competitors, the traditional brokerage, 130 years of brokerage, they're swimming in the red ocean, in those dirty red waters, lots of sharks, lots of blood. What's happening in their ocean is their commission compression, right? When did Keller Williams ever have to lower their splits? They were the leaders of holding their splits. But when your value starts to be diminished, you have to lower your splits to compete. That says to me, we don't have enough value. We better compete now harder. So you're starting to see commission compression in those brokerages. They're starting to give revenue share. They're trying to figure out stock. They're just trying to figure it out. But they're not even on our radar. Why? Because they're stuck in the traditional contractual agreements, territory agreements. They can't shift. They can't just shift and go, we're virtual now. we're going to play chess with you guys. Nope, they're playing checkers and we're playing chess. So the only companies that are going to be in our blue ocean are the copycat companies. There's a couple right now out there. One is called Real and one is called Fathom. Now, Fathom came out in 2010. We came out in 2009. Fathom is, I would say, really cool because it's a cloud-based brokerage. And I'm really proud that of the top 10 in the triangle, Fathom is, I think, number 6 or 7. That's cool because that just gives us more clout. We have another cloud-based brokerage that's one of the top 10 in the triangle. So we should know that. What's the difference between a Fathom agent and an EXP agent? To me, a Fathom agent is basically like a FSBO. They go there because it's a reduced per transaction fee. So to me, they're the hobbyist agents. Write that down, hobbyist agent. The agent that's just gonna sell a few homes here and there, right? They're not looking to expand. If I went to Fathom Realty, I would be the top agent there. If Sharon went to Fathom Realty, she'd be the top agent there. And we'd have nowhere else to go. We would have to lead all the Fathom agents and teach them everything we know. We're not going to be incentivized to do that, so we're not going to do that. But Sharon and I would pay Fathom probably 200,000 a year because it's a per transaction. So if you want to stay really low transaction, save your penny, and you want a discount brokerage, Fathom is the way to go. But if you want to build your revenue, not revenue share or stock, if you want to build your revenue in your business, you want to be surrounded by the great minds. So our attraction to EXP is that you're going to naturally get a raise when you come here because 70-30 splits. We have 1 million agents in the nation that are still on 30% splits with no in perpetuity. There is no cap. So the cap means that we know what we get paid. We pay here at EXP or at Keller Williams. They have a cap. So there are 1 million agents still paying 30%. Are there brokers doing 30% of the work? No. So why are these agents paying that? So we're saving tons of money. We're helping agents save tons of money. There's plenty of us in the group that have saved tens of thousands of dollars by leaving their brokerages. So going back to that, we are a virtual company. We have Fathom, which has no infrastructure, no collaboration like this because there's no incentivized leadership. They do have stock. So you need to know that they do have stock. Then there's a company called Real. And these were the misfits that couldn't recruit at EXP. And they went and started Real, right? So the one thing I haven't seen in 3 years is any real revenue share checks. I'm still waiting to see one. I mean, when I came to EXP, people were like, bam, 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 bam. I mean, it was almost like, this is a pyramid scheme. This can't be real. This can't be real. Dan Beer's making 50 grand a month. Like, come on, Dan, really? And then he had to show me. And when he showed me, I was like, okay, well, he's not lying. So I haven't seen real commission checks. Real is about 1,500 brokers in the nation. So you got to know that because people might bring that up. Well, I heard about Real. Great. And EXP agents are leaving EXP and going to Real. Yeah, the ones that couldn't recruit. And what they're trying to do is this. They're trying to become the Brent Gove, the Gene Frederick, the Rob Flick, the Jay Kinders of EXP. And what I mean by that is when you look at these guys and gals, the thing they have on all of us is time. So I can't beat Brent Gove because he's been here 7 years and I've been here 3. So he's got me by time. But eventually I can be Brent Gove if I put in the blood, sweat, and tears that Brent put in because he's been here 7 years. He was here when everyone called it a scheme or had never heard of EXP. Could you imagine being like, hey, we're avatars in the cloud office back in 2014? I remember when one of the agents locally brought me EXP and I thought he'd lost his mind. I'm like, avatars, I can't even use my CRM for God's sakes. I'm using index cards. It totally was way over here. So these guys, Brent Gove now has been here at 7 years with the company. He's making $1 million a month of revenue share. When I met Brent 3.5 years ago, he was making what Jay Kinder is, what Chuck Fazio is making, which is 300 grand a month when I met Brent. So 3 years I've been here, Brent's at $1 million. So guess what? It's growing with or without him. The ship has left the port. So Brent's at $1 million a month. So these people at Real think if they get in now, they can be just like Brent. The difference is, guys, we have momentum on our side now. We're finally getting people to understand that all the great agents are at EXP. I don't want to go to a startup company. I don't want to be Brent. I just want to be financially free. I don't need $1 million a month either. I'm happy at 50. I wanted 5 when I got here, $5,000 a month. That would pay for this office. That's what I prayed for. I'm like, dear Lord, I will help as many people as I can help if you just pay my payment on my building. And he added a 0 just because I was extra nice. So Brent Gove is at $1 million. Gene Frederick, $1 million, 7 years, 16,000 agents in his downline. Brent, 17,000 agents. He passed up his sponsor. Isn't that cool? And I think a lot of you in this room, I can guarantee you can pass me up within a couple years because I didn't work that hard. I worked hard in a different way. If you work a little harder than me, you can pass me up. Rob Flick, 7 years, $1 million a month, 17,000 agents. Jay Kinder, 5 years at the company, so he's not beating them on time. 500,000 a month, 8,500 agents. You're one of his agents. You're in his downline. You're in all of these guys' downline. Curtis Johnson, 5 years, 275,000 a month, 5,000 agents. When I met Curtis, he was making 75 grand a month. Now he's at 275 grand. Chuck, same thing, 5 years, 300K a month. Chuck Fazio owned a brokerage with 900 agents, independent broker. In our Facebook group, because you're going to see Alison gave us an Agent Attraction Mastermind Facebook group. We're all going to join it. I show you guys there's 15 ways to get an independent broker to convert. I'm going to start putting all the things that I've collected in that group. So for the serious ones that stay and remain, that'll all be in there. Dan Beer, when I met Dan, he was making 50 grand a month, exactly what I'm making today. So I hope in 2 years I'll be at 250 grand a month. That'll be cool. We'll get a bigger yacht. Maybe we'll get 2. So 4.5 years, 250K a month, 4,500 agents. Mark Z, who's just above you. He's like your great granddaddy. Okay, Mark Z, 4 years, 125,000 a month, 1.8 thousand agents, right? 1,800 agents. 940 of those are us. Mark loves us, right? He's your granddaddy and he loves his grandkids. Michelle, and this is I want this to sink in. Michelle is my sponsor. So she's your grandmother. Michelle makes 70 grand a month. She has 1,200 agents, meaning that without the Freedom Builders, Michelle would have about 300 people in her downline. So all of us have changed that woman's life. It makes me cry, so I'm not gonna cry, but she's changed mine and I wanna change yours, but you guys have to do the work. So 3 years, I've been here, 50K a month, 950 agents. Jen Cervera, I don't know if she's on the call. I don't see her here, but Jen Cervera was my,
Here.
there you are. So 100 agents in her group. The hardest thing to do is get from 0 to 100. It's so hard, but once you get there, to get from 100 to 1,000 is much easier. So congratulations, she hit her 100th agent.
That's right.
And she's making about 7,000 a month.
Mhm.
That is like having a $2 million building and EXP and getting a residual of 4 to 5% every month. And all she invested was her time, talking to people and drinking a lot of coffee. I've had more coffee than I care to share. And then Sharon, she's in the back of the room. What's your average? So Sharon has been here 2.5 years. She has, we think like 275 to 300 agents on her team at EXP, not counting, counting her regular team too. 2.5 years, and she's making 15,000 a month. Sharon has like, I don't know, 25, 30 rental properties. You know, collectively, those probably bring in 25, 30, 40 grand a month, right? So just in 2.5 years, she's amassed almost the same as her entire real estate enterprise. I think that was a good $149 investment, right? But Sharon really spent a lot of time. Now, what's different with Sharon, you don't see her on social media, but she's stealthy. Like she's actually will talk to an agent on a cross deal. She's very good at like the one-on-one, but you're not going to see her prancing around the internet like crazy Kevin and I. Okay, let's stop and answer questions, and we're going to go on to the next little subject here. Okay, questions. What questions are there? Do you know?
Alyssa's raised her hand.
Oh, Alyssa, go ahead. Just unmute yourselves and chime in.
I just had a quick question. You had mentioned a 900 number in the beginning, and I didn't know if that was referencing like we have 900 agents within Freedom Builders.
Yes, we have 940 agents, I think,
Okay.
or 38 as of today.
938. Okay.
Yeah, and we're bringing in about 50 to 60 agents a month into our group. So that means you all are bringing those agents. So a year from now, 50 times 10 months, right? We should have another 500 agents in our group. And that's what I'm trying to say. Like, it's not my work. My work was the 104 that I brought, but then you all are building yours, and you can go out and build it. So great question. Okay. And then Tracy, go ahead and unmute yourself. Where's
No,
Tracy?
you already answered my question.
Oh, okay, good. All right,
Thanks.
then just go ahead and go to the reactions and put your
I
little
have a
hand
quick
down.
question.
Yeah.
So I don't know if you have those stats, but out of the 900, good morning, first of all, from
Good
California.
morning,
Hello.
Frank from California.
California. So I was
Frank
just
from
wondering,
France.
out of the 938 agents, how many of those are from, social media, videos, and then different sources?
So
I don't know if
of
you can
my
break it
100,
down.
I don't know about the 900, but I know about, or 940. I know for me, I probably have, my YouTube channel alone brings me in, of what I know to be true, 20 grand a month in passive income, because I've added up all the people I've pulled off there. And that's what that, just posting videos, right? About EXP, why I left Keller Williams to join EXP. That's a great ranking video. So you
Right.
can actually go in and download TubeBuddy or vidIQ, and vidIQ or TubeBuddy will tell you what agents are searching for. Is EXP Realty a pyramid scheme? You can make a video on that, right? Somebody's Googling that. So I want to be the one they find. And then I want them to go from my video about why is EXP a pyramid scheme to the next video, to the next video. I want to keep them in my funnel. So the work I've done once on making that video is an evergreen video. I don't have to be belly to belly having coffee after coffee after coffee, because my net is going to cast to hundreds, maybe thousands of people, instead of me trying to talk to agents one-on-one. So I think video strategy, which again, we'll talk about later, is massive, because the work I do a year ago is going to live and just gain traction for the next 5 years, 10 years as EXP is growing. So if you're not making video content, you're really missing the boat. In fact, people have a parasocial relationship with whoever they're watching. And so they feel like when they get into my calendar, they're like, oh my God, I can't believe I'm speaking to you. I'm like, yeah, I'm a realtor just like you. What can I do for you? But they've like watched me, so they feel like they know me. They can do that to you too. So just get your pretty face out there, Frank, and make some videos.
Thank you.
Because somebody's going to connect with you, right? All right. Any other questions? Ramita. Hi.
I have a question. So in the past, you've mentioned that, use your leadership, leverage your leadership when you're recruiting.
Yeah.
So here's an interesting question. Oh, sorry. Here's an interesting question for you. So when we're recruiting and we are leveraging our leadership, how about when that agent doesn't choose you to be their sponsor, but chooses your sponsor or the leader? So how do you maneuver around that? How do you strategize around that?
So that's happened many times where that's a great question. What she's saying is, if you're leveraging your leader and that agent says, well, wait a minute, I want to join you instead of the person that brought me. It's happened to me several times, right? Chuck Fazio, they're like, well, we like Chuck. We feel Chuck is better for us. Okay, it's sort of like a listing appointment. What I tell my agents, the agent that asks me that question, Kelly Brown, I don't know if Kelly Brown's been on the call, but she's had a couple of her people ask that question. What I say to them immediately is, one day the person that you bring me is going to ask the same question. How would you like me to handle it? And so we tell that agent they have to go back to that person. Now that agent might say, well, but they didn't pitch me EXP, or I just know them, or whatever. You have to leave it up to that agent, but it's on them to make that decision. And I know there's people on this call, I won't call you out, but they were pitched EXP by one person and then they decided to pick another. So that's sort of just like that. You're not going to be able to save them all, but the reality is you want to give that agent the opportunity to do the right thing, right? I mean, that's the reality. So good
I
question.
think that goes back to what you said earlier. When you cast the net, you can catch more. Some of them might fall through. It's okay.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, and you have to think about this is a listing presentation. So if I'm going up against, Susan on a listing presentation, if I have more knowledge and I'm more confident and that agent's going to gravitate. So you guys are pitching your brokerage and you want to know a lot about your brokerage, right? And then you're going to get better and better and better. In the beginning, I used to lose way more people and I'd be like, oh man, but I wasn't equipped for it, right? So now I'm better at it. And so you guys have to get better at it. All right, so real quick, we're gonna start here with how many of you want to make in the next 2 years, have more financial freedom with residual passive? Raise your hand. Okay, everybody should be raising their hand. But what if I told you guys it was gonna be really hard? Do you still wanna do it?
Yes.
Because it's going to be hard. It's not easy. It's like joining a real estate. You have to pick up the phone. You have to make those dials. So I think it's going to be hard. And what if I told you you have to get out of your comfort zone and get really comfortable being uncomfortable and doing maybe more video and get your ego out of the way? Kevin and I are totally like, whatever. We don't care what people think. Obviously, you've seen our latest videos. They're Kevin's videos, really. That's really Kevin's personality. I'm just allowing him to come out now. He's out of the closet, Kevin. That's naturally how funny he is. Now we just record it, for the public. So anyway, what I want you guys to unmute yourself. What is your definition of success? I want you guys to tell me what your definition of success is. I'll tell you my definition, but unmute yourselves, or in this room, what's your definition of success?
My definition of success is putting
Freedom.
my purpose
Freedom.
and talent to the service of others. That brings me joy.
Your purpose and passions to help others.
Yeah.
That's your success. Okay. What else?
Financial freedom.
Financial freedom. What else?
Freedom
Could
of
be
time
anything.
and helping others.
Freedom of time and helping others. Yeah. I mean, some people, success is trophies. They want trophies. They want to be number one on the list. I'm that person. I like to be. When I was my first 7 years in real estate, when I walked to the back of the room, when I left the office, I wanted to be on the top of the list. That was success to me at the time. Don't be shy, guys. You don't have to be. It's not a bad thing, right? Maybe you driving a really nice car makes you feel successful. Buying a nice house, going on a nice vacation, first class seats, whatever it is, whatever your definition is. The one thing is true is the true Webster's dictionary definition is getting what you want. That's success. So it could be planting a garden. I'm so successful. I grew my garden. I grew some vegetables. That's awesome. Whatever it is. For me, it's do what I want, when I want, with who I want, wherever I want, while I'm leaving an impact on those around me along the way. That's it. Impact. Because it's no fun being successful if you can't pull other people along with you. Then you're just sitting in a room going, wow, I'm so successful, but all my friends can't come on vacation with me. And it's not fun going on vacations with broke friends. So we want everyone successful. All right, so here's our assignment. This is gonna be tough because I think a lot of us, like now, we didn't have 50 people jumping in on what is success. There is a list of things. So I want you guys to make a list of 100 things I want. Now, when you're thinking about the things you want, this can be 3 categories. A, your personal accomplishments. That could be, I want to get my pilot's license. I want to become a scuba diver like Kelly DeBras and go be a licensed scuba diver. I want to climb Mount Everest. Whatever your personal accomplishments are, that could be one. So just make a note, and you don't have to do it all now, but I'm just saying personal accomplishment should be one of the top 100 things I want. Because if you guys don't know why you're about to do something hard, you're not going to do it. You're just not going to do it. You're going to wake up tomorrow and be like, well, that was fun, but I'm just going to go sell another house and be the dancing bear. You gotta want something. Be materialistic, right? What do you want to buy? What do you want to own, right? Be real with yourself. Maybe you want to buy more rental properties, right? So you want to take all this rev share by helping people, and the rev share is going to buy you all of your investments for the next 20 years because you want to sell real estate. My thing was, I get to work now. I don't have to. I'm in a position where I don't have to do this job, but I get to. So get and have to was my big shift. And Tony Robbins' son, when we were at Cabo, he talked about something that really hit hard with me. He said, in life, the first mountain that we're climbing is my mountain. It's for me, right? It's for your financial success. It's for your family success. It's for your security. It's all about you, your first mountain. But when you get to the top of that mountain and you go, yes, I did it. I climbed the mountain. Now I'm financially free. Now you have a second mountain to climb. And that's the mountain where you're helping others. And I was like, that was such a great visual for me. It's like, what are we doing now? What do we do now that we've achieved that passion, that lifelong dream of financial freedom? Oh, we turn around and we help others, because what else can we do? Go plant a garden? That's boring. So be materialistic for B. Financial achievements. What stocks do you want? What real estate do you want? What real estate holdings? What do you want in your savings account? What do you want in your yearly income? What do you want in your monthly income? What do you want in your daily income? What do you want in your freedom income? Like, you got to get so specific. And I think by the time you guys get to number 25, you're going to run out of things. But you have to push yourself to say, what do I want? Maybe it's buying a home for your grandparents or your parents, or making them financially free because they can't work anymore, whatever it is. So if you don't know the why, you're not going to do this hard thing. And then this was Sean Kokoska, actually, which I know you know very well. He was talking about what did Mike say? Or I'm sorry, Mick say. What did Mick say? My inner cynic during this exercise. And you guys are thinking now in your head, right? What's your inner cynic saying? Mick. So everyone has an inner cynic. I call it my drunk monkey. Like, oh, well, this is what your inner cynic might say. You're just too busy to age and attract. This seems so hard. What can I teach someone? Why would they follow me? I'm just new. Oh, too many agents are out there already. Tina has everyone anyway, so why should we even try? Right? So that's your inner cynic. It's gonna talk you out of all of this. And so we have to get past that. All right, let me look at my notes here. We're moving on. Any questions thus far? Okay.
I know we kind of talked about it in the chat, but is there an incentive for me to get an EXP agent to move to archive to Freedom Builders?
An EXP agent? No. So there's no incentive for you to move an EXP agent into Freedom Builders. In fact, Freedom Builders is your value proposition. It is your listing presentation. Yeah. Right? So that is your value proposition. You're not going to bring somebody to Freedom Builders. Now, we have some people in here that I've invited that are friends at EXP, and they're like, can I come into your group today? Sure, that's fine. But this is your value proposition. So you want to bring people into your value prop. Okay, because every group at EXP has their own value proposition, and they're getting better and better and better at their value propositions. Freedom Builders, we're building a website now where we're going to house everything. We're going to have agent testimonials. We're going to have all our scripts and dialogue. I'm going to build a little agent attraction course like GoGo has. We'll give that to all our people for free. You know, like, we'll give them things to join us. And so now that we've got the life vest on and we've invested time and money into Freedom Builders because it's making money, I'm investing that back into time to leverage in people. And so we're going to have some really cool things coming down the pipe. So again, going back to your inner cynic, you know, a lot of people are complainers too. I mean, who's been around the complainers? They're always complaining, and it's just so exhausting. And, you know, to me, like, a complainer rarely lives a great life. It just rarely. I mean, I can name people in my family. All they do is complain, but then their life is terrible. I don't want to be around those people because I want to protect my bubble. It drains me when people complain. So stop complaining, because for things to get better, you have to change you. You have to change something. So if you're always complaining that you don't have enough money, you don't have enough deals, what you are attracting is more of the same, right? So you have to change that mindset. Going back to Brent and Jean and Rob and Jay, I made notes here that success leaves clues. Follow what they do, right? So I met them all. I know their stories. All of us have to come up with our story. So coming up with your story is your elevator pitch. Why did you get into real estate in the first place? Where were you for the last however many years you've been in real estate? Why did you pick your original brokerage? Why did you come to EXP? What do you hope to do here? A question that I like to ask EXP potential agents is, what can you contribute to our group? Because I think a lot of times we're just feature dumping on them. We have stock and we have rev share and we have this. What could you do, Lisa Quinn, when you join our group? What could you contribute to us? That's a great question, right? Like I want to do the takeaway. Like this is a two-way interview because we don't want the grumpy lumps that just are whining and complaining all the time. Like, and trust me, I'm sure we all can name a few in our lives. So you have to, change that mindset. Knowing their story, knowing how and why they have what they have. They didn't all automatically get what they have. They just didn't care about their ego. They wanted it worse than any of us, and they worked day and night to get it. And that's the difference. And I used to say in the beginning, I work on call group during the day, I work on my freedom at night. And that was when I was DMing agents or, loving on them on Instagram or starting to build relationships, because this is a relationship building business. So you want to meet with agents and start little mini mastermind groups. Pam Tucker has done a great job, right? She's part of Freedom Builders, but she didn't just say, oh, I'm just going to leverage everything you have. She just started her own. She started her mini group, and they meet once a week. And you've got what, like 15, 18 people now?
We have 10 that are contributing.
10 contributors, and they meet once a week. They're still coming to all the Freedom Builder stuff, but she's a leader. She's going to lead this thing. She is absolutely focused on it. She brings me people all the time. She talks about it all the time. Pam will be one of the people on this board very soon, but she's working on it. Congratulations. You're welcome. So that's the thing. It's like Ashley, I don't know if Ashley's here today, but Ashley had the light bulb moment. Ashley is now, she has this amazing team, and they go out to lunch, and she tries to inspire them. And now Ashley's going to, events. She's plugging in. Mackenzie, same thing. Minda, same thing. Gina, same thing. So it's like you see the people that want it, and they're always there and they're present. So you guys have to do what the leaders do. And I see these leaders at every single event. These people are multi-millionaires. Why are they prancing around at EXP events? Because they can. And they know that that's what it takes. You got to bring people to events. I bought 10 tickets to the Build event. 10 tickets cost me $4,500. But I know that if I get one agent of those 10 that I invite, that's going to pay that $4,500 off in a couple of years, right? One capping agent. A capping agent at our company sells $2.66 million of real estate in volume. So know that number. What does it take to cap at EXP? $2.66 million of volume. It's in our market, it's about 6 transactions, 6 to 8, depending on your price point. So all you need is, whether you get a Marty Hampton, I'll make the same off Marty Hampton on level 2 that I'll make off a brand new agent that sells 6 homes. Think about that. The only difference is that Marty is going to contribute to the group. She's going to put events on. She's going to give us our knowledge. She's worth more to us than $3,200. But at the end of the day, in your downline, don't just try to go for the big players, just any agent. You get an agent that sells 3 homes a year. Let's get them to 6. Let's get them to 8. Now they're a rental property that's paying you every dividend that you could possibly get. So bring 2 people, commit to bringing 2 people to build. Okay. So I think that's huge. So, all right, next, in this little lovely diagram here, the next page in the diagram is this page here. Okay. So in the 3 circles in the diagram, I want you guys to put in the top circle, I want you to put know everything. In this lower right, I want you to put do everything. And then in this lower left, have everything. And what this diagram kind of talks about is the 3 circles represent the all-knowing, meaning that you can't know everything. Even though if you ask my brother-in-law, Chris, Kevin, cover your ears, he knows everything. We all know that one person, right? So we always get in fights about stupid stuff. But you can't know everything, right? I don't know how to do surgery. I don't know how to pull a tooth. Like, I don't know everything. But I am going to spend my time making choices, right? Making my choices decide how much of it I know. And when you look at this little diagram, this little piece here, I don't know everything, but I know this much of everything in my little world, right? This much about EXP and real estate and my little piece of the pie. And I'm going to put 10,000 hours into that thing that I know. So you can't know everything, have everything. I know I'm never going to have 3 castles in Ireland, right? I know I'm never going to probably travel and do everything. I'm not going to travel to every single country in the world. That's probably not going to happen. I mean, maybe, but probably not. So, but I could travel to some, right? I could have some amazing things in my life. So you got to think about what do you intend to know? What do you intend to do? And what do you intend to have? But your choices today are going to fill those circles and make them complete. So I want to be a master at, EXP, everything EXP. So the model towards mastery is the next page, right? So today, most of us, if you look at this, we're in that foundational phase. So the foundational phase, under foundation, you can write your knowledge, you're learning knowledge, you're learning skills, you're learning mindset, and you're learning habits. And probably the most important of those four are going to be the habits that you guys deliver every single day. I have a really good habit with EXP. I'm always on calls. I'm always learning things. I have a bad habit with exercise, right, Mackenzie? Bad habits. I don't have the results that I want, though. My body doesn't feel like I want it to feel. I can hide it under clothes and I look cute. That's fine. Everyone's like, oh, get over it. I'm like, I don't feel strong. I tweaked my neck and then Mackenzie and I couldn't do our thing. She hurts her back. This is 40. But the point is, my habits suck on exercise. Therefore, I don't get the body that I want. I don't get to feel the way I want to feel. But my habits at EXP are amazing. So I'm going to get the results that I want. The next thing in the foundation, this is very much like real estate, is your pipeline. We have to, all the activity we do is to identify who the agents are that we're going to talk to so we can convert them to our company. Probably the hardest thing to do because we're like, I don't know what to say. I don't know what to do. I don't want to be a creepy recruiter. Well, we're going to learn that, right? We're going to learn that. The next phase is your momentum. And so, like I said, it's 1,000 times harder to go from 0 to 100 people, 1,000 times harder. You're going to see that though, once you get to 100, it's going to start opening up. Our growth rate is about 8% per month growing EXP. So momentum phase is what we want. We want to get you guys into momentum. Then once you're in momentum, you're going to have to figure out leverage. And the 3 pillars in everyone's business for leverage is systems, tech, and people. And right now, you're probably not, you don't have people leverage. Because if you have a downline of 100 people, Jen Cervera has 100 people under her. She has people leverage. Whether she sells a house or not, money's going to show up in her mailbox. Same thing with Marty Hampton. Same thing with April Stevens. April has, I think, over 150 people now. So there's leverage there that's happening. So they're in leverage phase. And when they get to leverage, they're going to have to figure out what model they have. What systems do they have for recruiting? What tech are they using for recruiting? And how many people do they have to help them with the team? We have Alisanne now, we have Maria, we have Catherine. So we have a little marketing team to help us because we're building income in that second business. And so that business now, I'm taking money out of the business to pour it into people to grow it. So I don't just think I'm going to keep 100% of it. I want to spend it. We're going to spend $12,000 to go on a yacht trip for fun. Why? To reward our people. It's fun. And then mastery. Mastery happens at the top. And that's when you put in, like they say, 10,000 hours into something. So that's a lifetime journey, the mastery piece. So most of us, put in the chat box, where are you in this? Are you in foundation? Are you in pipeline? Are you in momentum? Are you in leverage? Or are you in mastery? I would say we're probably between foundation and pipeline for most of us. And momentum for a lot of us. The Sharons and the April Stevens and Marty and Jen, they're in momentum phase, which is so cool. So I see a lot of foundation. This is the foundation, right? So what activity do we need to build the habit around? So what do you guys think you guys have to do first to build the habit? Is it going to be, I think, Minda, if you can pipe up, Minda had a very aha moment in Cabo. Minda, where are you? Calling Minda. Oh, she's out.
Hold on, I was driving.
Oh, there she is. Okay, be very careful.
I know.
So your talk about the 2x2 rule that you learned in Cabo, your aha moment to build habits.
So for me, like a lot of this seems overwhelming, like you said, because a lot of it's uncomfortable. I think it's like the prospecting calls. Like if you have to make 50 contacts, it seems like a lot, right? So what they did is the 2 by 10 by 40. So it's 2 touches a day. So you have to be intentional with that, which leads to 10 a week, which is 40 a month. So if you can commit to the 2 a day, that became the aha moment for me.
2 a day. Like 2 a day is manageable. We tell our agents to make 5 new contacts a day. 5 for 5. Do your 5 for 5. Do your 5 for 5. 5 new contacts a day. 5 days a week is 25 a week. It's like 1,300 a year. If you land 10% of those, it's 130 deals. We know we're not going to land 10% of those unless you're a rock star. So if you land 3% of those, it's a lot of deals, right? 39, 40, whatever deals it is. So it's the little consistencies that you can start to do the 2 a day that will build, remember what we talked about, your financial freedom as you're the dancing bear. And you can be the dancing bear forever, right? It's just you get to decide when you dance. Not that you have to dance to earn the money. You can just decide to, like, I don't mind going out to a property right now and listing it. Fine, it's fun, right? But I don't have to. And so I want all of you to get to the point where you figured out your freedom number, and your freedom number should be all of your expenses, all of your habits, the lifestyle that you have today, every month, that covered. If God forbid life happens to you and there's a car accident, there's something that happens, right? What is that freedom number that's going to cover all of our expenses? I mean, we've had some tragedies happen in the last couple of weeks just in our Freedom Builders family, right? And so that's going to happen. We're not going to, right? We can't be in control of everything. But I always thought if I got hit by a bus, I really would love for my family for Kevin not to have to go out and sling houses because he hates people. He does. No, just kidding. He actually loves people. But he hates real estate. So, that wasn't his thing. He got into real estate because of me. He hates real estate. So, but he would have to go dance for money, and he probably would pick a different job, but maybe not, because he got 7% commissions. He was actually a really damn good realtor. But the point is, he would have to go do something. If I die today, we're pretty good. He doesn't have to go dance. So who in your family is the breadwinner? Sometimes the detriment is that you have a breadwinner in your family. Money's coming in. But if your breadwinner is an employee, like is getting paid on a salary and there's no residual coming in, again, if they get hurt or something happens, we're left again going, oh shit. So that's why I'm like praying for all of you to really go help more people come to this brokerage. Because when you have $3,000 to $4,000 to $5,000 a month coming in, your freedom number's covered, you have that weight off your chest. Okay. And then you get to work freely. So build the habits, build the foundation. Brent used to say this to me all the time. He said, list a home, get paid once. Get paid maybe, he said, depending on the market. List a home, get paid maybe. He said, maybe in 5 to 10 years from now, you get to do it again. But list an agent and get paid for the career span of that agent over and over and over again. And when I met Brent, I was 6 months at EXP, and he's like, so tell me about you. And I'm like, oh, I sell 100 homes a year. I have a team and I'm exhausted and I'm on the hamster wheel. I'm the dancing bear. And he said, you need to sell less homes. I was like, who is this guy? Sell less home. Like that was not on my radar. I thought I would still sell a lot of homes, but then build a little bit in EXP. He said, you need to sell less homes. You have to go, you can build this. You're a leader in your business. You can build this. You can help us build this. Like he was like, really like commanding. I was like, okay, I'll think about it. And so it was just this evolution of me believing that this could replace those 100 deals a year. And it absolutely will, and almost has. All right. So let me just see. So we've got our foundational leverage. For me, it says, which phase are you in? I'm in leverage phase. So my commitment to myself is I'm going to make more evergreen content, meaning videos that live forever in the cloud. And every Friday now, I used to have Fridays be my agent attraction day. Now I do agent attraction all week. So every Friday now becomes my video day. I'm going to go and make videos. I hate making videos. It may seem like I like it. I don't. 4 years ago, you wouldn't see my face on video, on Facebook, on Instagram. I was non-existent. Why? Because I don't like social media. It's exhausting. It's a job. And so, but I know that job has big payouts. So every Friday I'm going to make evergreen content because my videos cast a wider net and you are speaking to hundreds, possibly thousands. And I make the video once and then it lives forever. It's like an employee, a full-time employee. It's working while you're not in your sleep. The second thing is I would spend money on acting classes. If you don't want to make video and you're afraid of it, spend money on acting classes. Get your hair and makeup done. Take a bunch of pictures. Start with pictures, pretty pictures of yourself, maybe with something that's authentic about you, a struggle that you had. Learn your demographic. What struggles do agents have in the market? They are tired. They are scared. They don't know where listings are going to come from. You know, think about your recruits. So when you think about a seller or a buyer, you're thinking about what are their pain points? How do I solve them? We're all very good at that. That is our job. And we are good at differentiating our services between each other, right? Because we're all still competitors in the market. We're all going to still go list homes and whatever. And we want to sharpen that tool to be really good with our sellers and buyers. But why aren't we sharpening the tool to be really good with people? Finding out what they need, what they want, and what you guys can solve. So I would have a strategy about getting yourself out there, making yourself uncomfortable. How are you going to promote your brokerage? If I charged each of you $100,000 to join this mastermind group, I probably wouldn't have anybody here. So that's one thing, right? So if I said you have to pay $100,000 to be a part of this mastermind group and then go grow your brokerage, when you grow it to 100 people, I'll give you your $100,000 back. If you guys paid me $100,000, I bet you'd do everything that we're asking you to do because it was a financial investment in growing your brokerage. So you have to think, I own a brokerage. What's my, how much do I know about eXp Realty? How much do I know about the people at my brokerage? How do I use the tools that we have to solve the problems of the agents at my brokerage? And then how do I bring those agents to value? And I think that's the way that we'll segue into oh my God, it's 12 o'clock. Look at us. We have 6 weeks of this. Maybe you all won't come back after this, but the one last thing I'll end on is your affirmations page. So there's an affirmations page. And then I want you guys to leave this today with the commitment to yourselves. How many people will you talk to each day about real estate? And what we're going to talk about next week, and we're going to put the scripts and stuff in the group, the script to do what a lot of agents are doing right now, which is the invite script. So Nina has had really great success. Do you want to tell them about your success with what you're doing?
The agents from my listings.
Yeah, do you want to just come up here? I'm going to invite her up here. So I invite people to value. So I'm inviting people to our 1 o'clock call and I'm saying, hey, Christy, I have this amazing mastermind group and it's 300 to 400 people and it's changed the trajectory of my business. I would love to invite you because this month, whatever month it is, April, May, June, July, this month, we're opening it up and we're inviting guests. I would love for you to come and give me feedback on if you think this group is on track or what you think we could change about the group. Here's the Zoom link, boom. So Nina got really smart and this is what she's doing.
So I actually have started reaching out to the agents who have submitted offers on my listings, and they're obviously not educated enough to be submitting really strong offers, especially the ones that came in number 2 or number 3. And I'm reaching out to them and saying, hey, just wanted to chat with you about real estate. I really appreciate your offer. Can you tell me about your business? And we start chatting. And one of them was a rock star in another market and just didn't know what this market was all about and was helping her son find a house. And she said, I actually would love to find a new home for my real estate business. Talk to me about it. So reaching out to these agents who have submitted offers and haven't been successful and saying, listen, I have this mastermind that could really help you learn some skills if you want it, to learn some more things about, what this market is like, market conditions, learning some new tricks and that sort of thing. Would you care to join? And they've said yes. And then I have started hosting my own mastermind group on a weekly basis for, I think we're up to like 12 agents as well. I invite them to that. That's growing. So I think reaching out, I also mentioned this on Curtis's group. I'm part of Curtis Johnson's group for agent attraction as well. And so they've started going do it, and I'm getting messages from them saying, holy crap, this is a totally like uncharted area that I never thought of reaching out to agents submitting offers on. Usually we try and talk to agents who we've worked with. What about the ones who submitted and could use the skills to bump up their business? So that works.
I mean, it really
Yeah.
works. Yeah, so the invite is what I teach now in the world, in EXP world, because I think that a lot of us, we don't want a cold call. Now, there's lots of cold calling scripts. If you're a high D driver and you're just like, hey, I have this brokerage, it's amazing, let's have coffee, fine. But if you want to do this a little more in a way where you'll feel better that you're giving value to somebody, this is probably going to be the way to do it. So next week, I would say in the next 7 days, let's talk to at least 2 agents. I would be thrilled if you guys talk to 2 agents for the whole week. So I'm going to give you guys 2 for the week. I'm going to let you down easy. For the overachievers, 2 a day. But to invite them to our Monday fast forward movement Zoom. You all should have it in an email. If you guys aren't getting that darn email by now, I know we've talked about it 5 million times, something's wrong with your connection from your EXP email to your current email. So get with Alice Ann. You've got to get on that email because you're going to see all the classes. Strategically, you can pick the classes you want to invite people to. Do not invite them to a recruiting class unless they are a KW recruiter. You can invite them to this class. And we'll show them that they'll make more money here. But pick wisely. So Monday is all about building your business. We don't talk about recruiting at all. It's a very safe call. It's Dan Beer and all the agents, and we all contribute. So 2 agents, talk to 2 this week. Make a list of the 100 things you actually want. I can't tell you guys what you want in life. Whatever you want, write it down on a list and push yourself past 25, 30 things. There's more things you want. And then make a list of all the agents that you know. So agents you know, agents who have shown your listings, agents that you've shown their listings, past cross sales agents, friends on social media that are agents, realtors of friends and family. You know, ask, you could call people that you've sold home or relocated. Hey, who was your agent that you met? Did you like them? Awesome. I'm looking for partners around the nation to grow this brokerage. Can I reach out to them, Bob? And then you call that agent. That agent's not going to be mad at you when you tell them that Bob, who sold him a home, who's a past client, asked that I call you and have this conversation about partnerships. And then you can invite them to our Zoom call. I'd love to invite you to our mastermind. It is changing the way agents do business. It's really phenomenal. I'd be a fly on the wall. Just come, turn your cameras off. So lenders and vendors, don't miss out on your lenders and vendors. Go take them out to coffee. Have lenders make introductions. The lenders are hearing all the complaints and the bitching and the moaning from the agents, right? So if you say to your lender, if you bring me your agents, I can double their business because I'm going to tap them into our Freedom Builders group, Mr. Lender. So if you want more deals, bring the agents to Freedom Builders, and then you bring them to, our calls. Influencers on social media. I reached out to an agent and I bought her little social media kit thing, and then we became friends. And then I invited her to the San Diego Mastermind. She came and said yes. She was a market center investor. Said she was talking about KW like it was amazing the whole time. We were like, oh, that's awesome. We never said a word. This woman has a group of 40,000 agents that are women in real estate, and she sells her products to them, and she sells real estate. And she was at that event, and she said Curtis Johnson did his EXP presentation because it was a mastermind where we all did different talks. And she said she couldn't sleep. She called her husband and said, oh my God, I don't know if they did this on purpose and invited me here, but I'm moving to EXP. And so she just made her announcement, and now she's at EXP. So, I mean, you just invite people to things, right? You let the conference do the heavy lifting. You don't have to, you just have to get them there. So become a professional inviter to value. And agents that listed homes in the last 30 days, look them up. They're active. They sell homes. Or have a party for all the agents in the last 12 months that you've done a deal with. Have a little wine and dine sesh with them and thank them for just, being an awesome agent. So just keep getting out of your head, and it's a numbers game. I mean, that's the reality. So build relationships. It's a numbers game. So next week, we'll talk more about that. We'll talk about the Gene Frederick presentation. We'll talk about napkin presentations. We're going to have you guys do them. I'm going to try and record some of the recruiting calls. And then once that agent joins EXP, ask their permission to put that recruiting call in our agent attraction group. So you guys can start hearing all the pain points of the agents. They all say the same things. It's really quite interesting. So EXP can solve pretty much all pain points. Is it perfect? No, but it's the best opportunity I've ever seen in my life in real estate last 21 years. So I hope that was helpful.
Thank you.
Bye, everybody. See you later. All the little faces.